Hi everybody, this is Angelica. Nice to see you today. Today's video is titled Soul Meets Body. And I know that this is a subject that I talk a lot about with my clients. So I kind of just wanted to make a video so that people could just watch and already know kind of the answers when it comes to this particular subject of the soul coming into the body. And one of my friends is going through this too, so I thought it would just be very informational and helpful so that those of you going through this process will kind of maybe, I don't understand the actual biology of it entirely, but just kind of knowing that this is happening brings a sense of just comfort when, so many things are changing and you're on this path and so many things are going on. But anyway, Soul Meets Body is also the title of a song by Death Cab for Cutie. And so if you guys know of that song, it goes something like, I want to live where the soul meets body, and let the sun wrap its arms around me and bathe my skin in water cool and cleansing. And okay, I don't know the rest, but that is the song, and it kind of goes along with this process. So, what's happening pretty much when you're going through a spiritual awakening is your higher self or your essence, the part of you that is very true. It's all the good qualities that you have, and without it being hindered or blocked by any emotional pain or things that may be present here in the physical. So when we came into this physical body, we're very three-dimensional, we're very third-dimensional, and we're moving through this world in a third-dimensional way. So this is all we know. Then all of a sudden, the spiritual energy from a higher dimension, which is really where our higher self resides, the part of us that is unhindered by these heavy third-dimensional limitations, or feelings, or thoughts, or emotions, or anything that's blocking us from being our truest, most beautiful self. Okay, so these things are just normal here on this earth, and we are trying to embody that beautiful essence of what we truly are. As this process is taking place, it can be very uncomfortable at times, especially if you're finding yourself resisting things. Because when you resist the energy, when you resist the things that it's trying to teach you as it's moving through your body, you'll find yourself up against a lot of pain, emotional pain, physical pain, pain in general. Doesn't matter if it's actually in the body or out here, it's pain, okay? It can be painful too when you actually feel this process taking place, when the soul comes into the body and boom, it's just this feeling of it's very intense. I actually had this process happen to me, and I felt exactly what it felt like when it happened. It was very uncomfortable because I was very afraid of it, okay? I was afraid to have my higher self come into my body because I knew that this earth and this physical body sometimes weren't always very, I didn't feel like this was a safe place to be, this world. And still, it's not really, but once you find your power, once your soul can come into your body fully, you feel a lot safer because you're now balanced and you're very powerful. You understand where you came from. You understand why you're here. You understand that nothing can ever harm you because you're an infinite being, and if you're not here, you're going to be somewhere else that's probably way more beautiful than here. Especially if you're a volunteer, if you're here helping, you usually came from a place that was a lot higher density than this. And so you have a greater understanding of love and stuff like that. So people are probably having a lot of symptoms in regards to this process taking place. Okay, sometimes they can be physical symptoms like tingly sensations when you feel the soul starting to merge with the physical. Okay, this is actually a biological process, and this biological process that's occurring is like the Kundalini energy coming through your body and going through and removing all of those things from the different areas of your body. And by removing, I mean taking it and kind of turning it into a higher vibration, in the highest possible vibration that your body can handle here. Okay, now as this process is happening to you, and this spiritual Kundalini energy is coming through and awakening the cells of your body so that you can shine and be the greatest person that you can be in this physical body, this is also happening to the earth itself. So it's a process that's happening everywhere to everything and everybody. Now, everybody's not at the same stage or place, but that's okay. We're all on our own, you know, we're all on our own little stage and stuff, and we're learning what we need to learn. Now, obviously, this process can be prolonged by a lot. You can prolong your own process by resisting your lessons, okay? Or just not wanting to move forward and let the energy move through you. Sometimes people think that the energy is so uncomfortable in this regard that they do put up a wall and resist it, okay? When I knew that my soul came into my body, if that makes sense, when I felt this energy that I had always been flying kind of outside of my body, and it moved into my entire self, I could actually feel it move into my body. It was the most the hardest, most challenging thing I've ever felt in my life. And I cried and cried and cried for about at least a week. But the first day I cried and cried and cried and cried, so I couldn't cry anymore. It was just so, it was like the deepest like emotional crying that I could ever. It was just so much. It was like all of the years of like pain that I lived my whole life was just coming out that day. So, okay, but I was ready for that much of that energy to come through me at that time and to settle into my body. And so I had to learn how to live again. It was like I almost had to live from that day forward a new way. And so I had to like really teach myself again how to do everything in this new way. And you know what the new way is? The new way is not being somewhere out here, outside of yourself, but being really, truly within yourself fully and completely. That might be kind of hard to understand, because I think what a lot of people do here on earth, they act happy, they look happy, everything's great. They have all the things that you would need to have on earth to be happy and healthy. But something's very wrong, because truly it's just like a superficial mask. It's like this outer image that looks as though everything's happy and in place. But in reality, there's lots of stuff underneath that that's not being looked at. And this spiritual energy, once it comes through and, you know, meets with the physical body, it really makes you deal with these issues that are underneath. Like, you know, you've seen those people that are like too happy. They're like really, really happy. And you're like, whoa, no, something's really wrong with that. That's what it is. They're just not looking within, and they're not letting their spiritual energy merge with the physical energy, because when that happens, it's a very uncomfortable feeling. Okay. It's not happy and wonderful like everybody thinks it should be. It's not. When the soul meets the body, it's not, yay, now I'm like an embodied, you know, goddess or God or whatever. You know, that takes time. Yeah, it feels like for a second that's what happens, but that takes time. You know, we are all that, but we have to really deal with some of these underlying issues. So I think what people resist too is because it's an uncomfortable process, and it can hurt and it can be very painful. So people avoid it through all the ways that they can, which we've always talked about here. Obviously, all the addictive, you know, substances, drugs and alcohol and eating and smoking and, you know, you name it. It's whatever people avoid. You can avoid without doing any of those things, but people are avoiding because they don't want to face this inner pain. Because the inner pain is going to make you feel bad, and it's going to make you not happy. And no one wants to be unhappy, right? Well, you have to be unhappy in order to find true, lasting happiness. Anyway, so when the soul meets your body, there's a lot of uncomfortable things that come along with that, but it's a process that needs to happen, and I think it will happen in its own time that's perfect for you. So you'll never have to deal with anything that is that you're not ready to deal with yet. So little bits will come at a time, and you'll know, and your higher self knows, and you personally know what's best for you. So wherever you're at with that process, it's fine. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to leave a comment or a question below, that would be great. Also, if you'd like to schedule a spiritual guidance session with me, you can go on my website, which is below the video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.